Hey everybody, Jason Spangler, the Santee Swapper. I'm back with another unboxing video. This is a collection that came to me from Oregon. I've not yet made the deal with the gentleman to purchase this collection, but I'm sure as soon as I see what's in here, we'll start emailing back and forth and probably work out a deal. So if you see anything in here you're really interested in, you can hit me up, leave a comment in the video, or maybe just send me a message. But I think I kind of know what's in here. He sent me some pictures and we kind of been going back and forth. But this is one of those deals where it sort of drug out over a long time. I haven't spoken to him. I think we had a gap of months and months in between speaking. Sometimes when people contact me about collections, they're very ready and anxious to do something. And then sometimes when they contact me, I think it may be more of something where, you know, their wife said something to them about the stuff in the closet, so they sent an email and then they kind of forgot about it or whatever. I don't know what happens. But anyways, this one kind of been ruminating and cooking for a while, so I was glad to get it in. It's kind of interesting. This is actually what they call a game box from the U.S. Post Office. It's a flat rate box, so it's kind of a big box. Kind of interesting to see what's in here. So I'm actually going to try to sort of cut the lid open and then just be able to show you what all's in there. So let's try that out. Of course, you got to have your knife. All right, so again, what I'm going to try to do is just come around the edge here, cut this, and we can hopefully just sort of crack this egg open and see what's in here. And hopefully I won't be damaging any of the contents. I'm going to try to stay close to the edge here. Should come right loose. Okay, one side down, that side's good. All right, there we go. I'll cut this off just to make it a little easier for me. I know you can already see everything there. Okay. So one thing I love about collections like this, when it comes from a scouter who did this as a childhood thing, typically they've held on to these things for decades and decades, maybe through multiple moves, and they've come to a point where it's time for someone else to get this stuff because they maybe don't have anybody in their family that's interested in it, and they just want to see it kind of go back into the hands of scouting. Another thing I like to see is that the fact it's almost like a little bit of a time capsule. So let's go through this. I think it'll be kind of fun. Philmont Scout Wrench. This is the classic jacket patch that they've had at Philmont for a long, long time. This one's not ever been sewn. A lot of these I'll find are sewn on jackets. That's interesting. Jamboree Neckerchiefs. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that a lot of collections I get have Jamboree Neckerchiefs in it. 73 in the bag. 73 was the largest Jamboree ever held. They actually had two sites, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. And then this is 1969. This is the Jamboree Neckerchief that the Scouts would have worn. And this one looks, it definitely looks like it's a little wrinkled, so maybe it's been worn and washed. I'm not sure if that suggests he's been to either of those, but these would have also been very prevalent trading items during that time. All right, 1971 World Jamboree. Now this is sewn. This is the United States Contingent jacket patch with the beautiful design, including the Statue of Liberty. And of course, if you kind of start to pair these things up, there's the sewn, which again, maybe this guy went to this event. Sewn. This is the neckerchief they wore. This is the United States Contingent neckerchief from that Jamboree. And here's the Trading Post issued Jamboree jacket patch. And then if I want to go over here, I actually have the corner of my eye see a little bit of blue here. And I'm wondering, yep, man, I do have good eyes for this. Check this out. Okay, there's the t-shirt, 1971 World Scout Jamboree BSA Contingent t-shirt. The tag is so faded. It is an official BSA. Just trying to see the size. Can't make the size out, but that's okay. That is a super cool shirt. You got the blue ringer neck going on. Don't really see, gosh, I don't see any stains or anything, so that's just a terrific, terrific shirt. That's really, really cool. Great piece there. I wonder if this one, yep, I'm seeing this, I saw the same blue ringer, so this is the same one. So, you know, there's really no doubt now this guy went to the 71 National Scout Jamboree, and that will kind of help date everything in here. We know that someone's only really going to be a youth scout for maybe 4 or 5 years at the most, and so he would have probably gone to this as a teenager, so probably he would have been in his 15, 16, 17 years old when he went to that jamboree, which obviously was held in Japan. A couple of other items from 73. Here's the, and again, you see these all the time. This is the leather patch that you could have sewn on your backpack, and of course this is the jacket patch. Leadership Corps, for those of you who aren't familiar with this guy, the Leadership Corps was a program within a troop. Today you might almost call it like a venturing patrol. It would have been a patrol for older boys in the troop, and there was a time period where those scouts wore the green uniform that we now sort of used to associate with explorers. Now we associate with venturers. During a period of time, this would have been their patch, and this would have been sort of a generic patrol that would have helped be like a troop guide before troop guide was even a position. Okay. All right. Again, 71 World Jamboree. There's a great hat. Love the style of these old hats. The only problem with these old hats is they don't fit me very well. So I might still try this one on because it does have some flexibility in the back. But my head's just a little too big for these hats. But I love the style of these old hats. A lot of times you'll find them with camp staff patches and things like that. It looks really cool. All right, 1969 Jamboree. Again, no reason to think yet that he went to this Jamboree, but it is very possible if he went to the 71 World, maybe he went to the 69. This looks to be, and this doesn't surprise me at all, this is some sort of a foreign neckerchief that he probably traded for at that Jamboree. All right, a couple of Order of the Arrow sashes. You can see here, these are both Ordeal sashes, and yep, I was expecting we could find a Brotherhood sash. So you're going to start off Order of the Arrow as Ordeal, move up to Brotherhood. It's a little hard to tell in the video, but these actually do have a different feel to them. This one probably a little earlier than this one, so there might have been a little, like this might have been 1960s, maybe the other one was from 70s. Cool little pennant here for a camp, and this is my other clue. And I haven't told you that yet, but this guy was from this area of the, I guess we call this the, I don't think you call Idaho the Pacific Northwest, but kind of the Northwest. So I think he's Idaho Panhandle Council was his council, and there's going to be some interesting patches in here according to the pictures he's shown me. So that's cool. You know, if it was my camp, I'd love to have a really cool vintage pennant like that from my camp. All right, obviously he went to Philmont. The only reason you would have this Philmont belt and the buckle, and it's definitely been worn. I mean, look at that right there. You can see all the markings here. Definitely this guy went to Philmont, so we kind of know that about him. All right, during that time period in scouting, the uniform would have included wearing these Garrison Caps, which ironically are very, very popular among scouts when I go and trade at jamborees and other events. Scouts love these old Garrison Caps. The thing you want to look for, and sure enough this one, you want to look for that size. It says extra large. A lot of these are really small, and if you find one that's extra large, then someone with a big old noggin like myself could even wear it. But you can see, like just for size comparison, one that's not extra large is considerably smaller, and it's a little harder to wear. So, all right, let's just hit these t-shirts here while we got it open. Oh, that's cool. Somebody's going to really want to see that. Idaho Panhandle Council Camp Easton staff. I confess I have not researched to see if Camp Easton is still a camp that's open and happening. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to find that out. But still, a lot of people love their camps, have great memories. Here's a cool look. I love this T-ringer here. So this is Philmont Scout Ranch. They did a National Junior Leader Instructor Training Camp out there, and this is the T-shirt for that. Definitely would have been a very, very specific style to have that blue ringer coming down like that. I'm not sure what you call that little T design. And he's got a couple of these. So that is, I mean, I know people only get so excited about t-shirts. I actually really like Old Scout t-shirts, so that's just me. And then this would have been the World Jamboree t-shirt from that Jamboree out in Japan. And then one more. Yep, it's got one more of those guys. So, and those look to be size, well, of course, it's probably in Japanese. So I probably, yeah, I can't read that Japanese writing. I don't know what size it is. Oh, here we go. Okay. So here's something he got out of the trading post at Philmont and never even wore it. A men's small classic Philmont Scout Ranch t-shirt, still in the original bag. Somebody will definitely want that. 1969 pennant. So, you know, I'm thinking this guy went to the Jamboree. It makes sense because it was held in Idaho, and we've already identified he was in an Idaho. It's also possible he could have traded for it, but I don't know. If you have the pennant, that kind of says something to me. All right, we got some neckerchiefs over here. So let's start with this beautiful one. All right, this is a beauty. This is a pie-shaped neckerchief from Selkirk Lodge 311. This is the lodge out in Idaho, and you can see, of course, the totem that they have there, very symbolic of that landscape. So there's a couple of flaps in here from this lodge as well. This was a very, you can see it was worn. So during that time period, a lot of scouts wore neckerchiefs because the style of the uniform was such that you almost was required. And especially if you went to national events, you were expected to wear neckerchiefs, lodge neckerchiefs. So that's a pretty cool pickup right there. Trading post item from Philmont, just the pretty common embroidered one there. Here's another item from Philmont. A couple of the classic neckerchiefs from Philmont. Again, these, they still literally make these, I think today. You still could get those. Region 11 Junior Leader Training. Region 11 was really a small region, kind of in that far area, Idaho and some other states in there. I don't know my geography as well as I should when it comes to Region 11. But he's also got this one here that's like a black one. Again, same patch, just on a different neckerchief. So this must have been a program they were doing there, Junior Leader Training. And then here's the Region 11, the Norwester's neckerchief. Back in the day, these actually were kind of coveted back when you had the original 12 regions. This is probably from his troop. It could have even been for a Jamboree patrol. That would have probably been an Eagle patrol neckerchief. You can tell it's homemade, and so that's the kind of clues you off. It's probably a patrol neckerchief, not anything more than that. Then Idaho Panhandle Council, so a council neckerchief, and this is going to be your standard BSA. So let's see what some of the other ones are in here. We have this well used OA jacket patch. Of course, this is back during the 60s and early 70s. They had this design before they went to what we call the MGM Indian logo. So there you go. There's the World Jamboree Contingent patch from that council's I'm sorry, not World. Yeah, there it is. That's interesting. This has 12th World Jamboree and then 7th National Jamboree. So I'm not familiar with this patch. I'll have to do some research, but apparently it represents two different events, 69 Jamboree and 71 Jamboree. I'll have to do my homework on that guy. Here's some flaps again from his lodge. And so again, they made a specific flap for that World Jamboree. So that's kind of cool to see. This is more of a classic pre-fleur-de-lis, you know, nothing cloth back kind of deal. Let's see if there's anyone else. Okay. Here's a cool little Eagle Scout patch. This Eagle Scout patch, depending on who you ask, is either one of the most coveted or also the most hated, because it doesn't say the word Eagle Scout. And so they only had this one for a few years, and it was not very popular. People didn't like that. So on the back, it's got cloth back. So that's a interesting style of that. And then here's that same patch, but this one's been worn. So obviously he went to these things, he wore these patches. Here's a 69 Jamboree patch, again worn. So maybe he was there. Now this is interesting. 67, the World Jamboree was also held in Idaho. So you know your history. 67 World Jamboree is held in Idaho. Same location in 69 is where you have this National Jamboree, and then of course going on into the 70s it moves off. This is a little tourist patch. This Cook's Travel was, we would call this today kind of a private issue, but this was a group that put together travel packages for people that are going to that Jamboree. Here's the 67 Jamboree patch, 73 Jamboree. Let's see what this guy is, another pennant here. Okay, 13th World Jamboree. So this is a World Jamboree pennant, a little beat up, but that's pretty cool. All right, another flap from his lodge. This one came off his uniform, so it's a little crinkly there. Just looking to see if there's anything else that stands out. Oh, here's a cool one. All right, so this will go in my collection actually. I have a collection of OA Conclave patches, and this is Region 11, Section C, 1972. This was the last year that they had conclaves for the original 12 regions before they realigned and went to 6 regions. And so that's why that tells me, being that it has Region 11 and then the section number being 72. So that's sort of at the tail end of my collection interest there. Here's a patch he would have worn on his shirt for that 71 World Jamboree sewn. Here's a coin, a little commemorative coin for that 71 Jamboree. That's a coin for 69 Jamboree. Another great old flap from his lodge. Oh, interesting. Okay, it's actually stapled to an arrow pin. The only reason I would imagine that you would staple a pin like this is that if this was the one that you got when you actually got inducted into the Order of the Arrow, the lodge might give you the flap and they would staple your arrow pin to that so that you have them together. Interesting that he never took that off. Maybe this was his ordeal one and he remembered that and he didn't want to wear it because the one he wore was this one. So maybe he sort of got a second one. Yeah, interesting. So you can kind of do some forensics and pull some things together with these collections. Another Philmont patch. Here's another conclave patch from 12C, 1971. So this was the year before the one we just saw. And then North Central Montana Council, I don't think that was his. He probably traded for it. Let's see what else we got. Here's another conclave patch. This is 1969. Same section there, Spokane, Washington. And then this is, let me just point this one out. This is kind of a good one. Now this has been cut down. I'll have to take a closer look at this and see if I can identify what it is. It's pretty see-through when I hold it up, so it almost looks like an early cloth. But this is a fruit culture merit badge, and you can see those tomatoes growing on there. And yeah, that's actually, I mean, other than the fact that it's cut down, all of these farming type merit badges are very difficult to find today. And this one especially, this would definitely not have been during his time period in the 70s. This had to come from somebody much earlier than him, like a generation or two earlier. I'll have to do some research on that. He's also got a couple of more. This was, I think that's, oh, somebody's going to get me. Is that horsemanship on that one? I'm trying to see. It's cut. I think that's actually a saddle, if you can barely tell there. Let me just show it to you. I think that's horsemanship. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. Here's a great old trail medal. And this one is for, it says duty to God. Oh, okay, this is not a trail medal. Aaronic priesthood. So this is a religious medal. I'm sorry, guys. A religious medal, and it's pretty cool. I had not really seen one in that design. I'm just not familiar with it with this sort of Western theme to it. There's no inscription on the back, and I definitely can't read that maker. So I'll have to do some research on that. All right, another flap in there. It's been sewn. More stuff here. I don't see anything else too interesting. Order of the Arrow for new members. Some paperwork with his name on it. Stickers and stuff. So anyways, I think that's it. Yeah. I'll just mention this because a lot of scouting groups back in the day, they had little bead systems. There's no way to know now what this was for, whether it was for his camp or his lodge or his troop. But a lot of lodges had bead systems where you came to an event, you got a bead, probably because they didn't actually make patches for each individual activity. And so that was just a way to recognize things. So, all right, hope that was good. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video. I've got probably 24 of them on my YouTube channel. There's even a playlist you can click on that says unboxing videos. So definitely go check those out if you enjoy. What I try to do obviously is a little mix of the enjoyment, the surprise of seeing what's in a collection, but then also just sharing a little bit of the knowledge that I've gained through the years of collecting scouting memorabilia with you. Again, my name is Jason Spangler, the Santee Swapper. You can find me on my website as well, scoutpatchcollectors.com. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to put out at least one video per week. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll push the like button. Thanks a lot.